Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. You guys know what time it is. Time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. For those of you who like these type of videos, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Let's get over to the point. This came up the other day when I was discussing the whole video with Simeon Panda that Brandon Harding had done where he thought he was natural. And I had numerous people who chimed in and said, yeah, but he's been polygraphed. And here's the thing, guys. This gets brought up all the time. And it's almost borderline amusing because I just assume by default that most people have enough education to know what a polygraph actually is. And I know a lot of you are in law enforcement and other stuff, and I guess you're going to get angry at me for revealing this. But people who don't know what a polygraph is actually used for in the real world, it's used by police as an interrogation tool. All right, and what I mean is, and this will be why it's amusing when natural bodybuilders use it as a claim that they're natural. Oh, I passed a polygraph. You're not going to subject yourself to a polygraph without researching what a polygraph is. Okay? All right. Polygraphs don't actually do anything. Say what? Let me rephrase that. They do something. They read your vital signs. All right? They read your vital signs. Polygraph is about as effective as when the nurse hooks you up to all those machines when you go to the doctor, you're in a hospital, right? You're hooked up to all that stuff. It's doing the same thing, more or less. Not exactly, but close enough. All right, a polygraph, including even by an examiner, has no actual ability to tell if you're telling the truth or not. And what I mean is you'll see people who will say, oh, well, I mean, it can only tell if you believe what you're saying or not. No. The polygraph is entirely human-based. That machine isn't part of it. The polygraph is the person talking to you. The person watching your body language, watching your eye movements, all that to see if they can tell if you're lying or not. Okay, that's the polygraph. It's not the machine. The machine can't do any of that. All right, the machine is there as an intimidation tool. And here's how this works. The average person who the police bring in, and I have enough police friends, is not exactly the most intelligent person or the most educated person. Let's just be realistic here. The majority of people being interrogated or questioned or being arrested by police for serious crimes are, in terms of education level, intelligence, and so on and so forth, probably slightly below average in any given society, particularly in America, right? They're usually not the brightest individuals. Usually the smartest people don't get involved in major crimes and murdering people and stuff like that. That's usually correlated with being less educated and less intelligent. Violent crime and things are. Right? When they have someone in there and they hook them up to a polygraph, they're banking on the fact that they're ignorant. And what the polygraph is there for is to get a confession out of somebody. Because you hook them up to the magic truth machine, and even when the guy says, no, those things don't actually work, even the person said, oh, you'd be surprised, actually they do. They do work. But they can only tell if you believe you're lying or not. They can't determine the truth. They can only tell if you believe what you're saying. So you might want to be honest. That's what they can pull on you. They can't do any of that. What happens is that once you're under interrogation and they're breaking a person down and they hook the magic truth machine up to you, is to get you to crack. All right, the polygraph can't read anything that you don't confess to. So what they're doing, they're trying to get a confession out of you. They're trying to make you confess to something or to give them details that they can use to go catch someone or find someone. So if you're hooked up to a polygraph, they're trying to get you to say things that they need to know. Right? They'll either try to get someone to confess to a crime, they're trying to get someone to rat on somebody else, they're trying to get details, they're trying to make you talk. Okay, they're trying to get something out of you that you want to hide. And the whole point is to make you nervous, to make you think that they have a magic machine that can make you tell the truth or tell if you're lying, because maybe deep down you get scared, maybe it'll know. And the whole point of the polygraph is to get you to confess. So if a person decides in their head that they're not going to admit that they're a fake natty. So let's say they do a polygraph at a natural bodybuilding show. I mean, this is ludicrous because you have to pay a professional to do this. You have to pay money for this. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's a dog and pony show. Okay? And I'll get over to that. The whole point is that they hooked it up to them, and if that person decides that they are not going to admit to their drug use when they go into that polygraph, if that person, that natural bodybuilder, that non-GMO organic bodybuilder, decides that he is not going to confess to his steroid use, and he doesn't confess to his steroid use and just finally admit and break down and start crying and admit that he uses whatever he trenbolone, growth hormone, unless he breaks down and starts crying and admits it in front of the examiner with the magical truth machine, which is what they do when they pick up a criminal who they want to interrogate. They try to break you down and get you to confess. It's the same thing. That's what a polygraph pass or fail is. You pass a polygraph if you don't confess and spill your guts when you're hooked up to the magic truth machine. Right? You pass. The fail is that you confessed and admitted. So that's the reason they can't be used in court. The machine can't actually read anything. So even if the person decides that your body language told them that you failed, that cannot be used in court. Do you know why? Because it's not evidence. All right, do you want to know what that is? That's his gut instinct. There's nothing scientific about the polygraph. Right? It's not scientific. It doesn't actually work. So let's come over to the point. The people who put these up in natural bodybuilding shows are essentially con men. The actual organizations doing the polygraphs are con men because they know the polygraph doesn't work, but then they can claim that it's a method that they have to ensure that their guys are natural bodybuilders. Okay? Even though it can't actually do anything. But because the average person is apparently too ignorant to know that a polygraph doesn't work, they've never studied it, they don't know what it really is, they just assume because they watched Maury Povich or Sally Jesse Raphael finding out all this stuff growing up off these talk shows, because again, they're the average person. They know that their fans are stupid. Okay, that's basically what the natural bodybuilding organizations bank off of. They bank off the fact that you're either ignorant or uneducated or stupid. That's what they're banking on. And therefore, they use polygraph, just like talk show hosts. Because then they can convince you that their bodybuilders are natural, and then they can get supplement sponsors, and they can convince you to buy pre-workouts and post-workouts and sleep aids and muscle builders and test boosters and all this nonsense, because natural bodybuilding only exists to sell you garbage products, all their sponsors and everything, and these guys get sponsored and push their products. It's about selling you supplements that don't work, okay? And you'll have the same guys who stand up and they know the polygraph doesn't work. So the organizations are already con men. And then so if you have a bodybuilder, I'm not naming names, who stands up and tells you that they passed a polygraph, and that's any sort of evidence, of their natural status, they're also basically trying to con you. They're running game on you. They are running game on you. That is what they are doing. They're hustling you. They're conning you. That's what they're doing. So you'll buy their products. Because it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. What passing the polygraph means is that when they were sat down in front of an examiner, they said, "No, sir, I don't use steroids. Not going to admit to it, never going to admit to it, never touched them." Right? Passing the polygraph is no different than when they tell you, when you say, "Well, I've got a magic machine, let me hold your hand and tell me, let me feel your fingertips." All right, that's all they did. No different than when they look you in the eye and lie to you, which they do. At the expos and all in front of the camera, they stand there and lie and tell you that they're natural. Buy my products, buy my supplements, buy my meal plan. Right? It's the same thing. They're running a con job. Nothing more, nothing less. Polygraphs are not actually a valuable tool in regard to that. They're only used to get confessions out of people. That is their only value, period. So if the person doesn't confess while hooked up to the machine, he passes. And therefore he's a natural bodybuilder because he said he was. That's it. It's no different than when he says, just puts the word natural bodybuilder on Instagram. It's the exact same thing. It's not a test. trick. And I'm only telling you guys so that you'll quit being ripped off by people. Alright guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.